Hey everyone, welcome back to Patriot Ridge Farm. Just finished up my chores, just kind of sitting here sweating. Because yes, it's hot again. And I'm sorry it's been a couple weeks since I've got a video on here. I'm just trying to kind of distance myself from most forms of social media, though I find myself sometimes not doing that, not listening to myself. But, you know, I've kind of gotten to the point where all I want is peace. That makes sense to you? I just want peace. I'll turn 54 in September, and as of that time, I'll have officially 6 years left before I can retire. So the 6-year countdown starts. And it's bad that I've got it worked out of my head that much at this point. But anymore, just going to work. Hey, that hot breath on me with this hot, humid air doesn't help. I get out of my car in the parking lot in the mornings. I look at that building and I'm like, oh, please, Lord. Please get me through this day. And I get there today, I'm in there at work, and one of my coworkers says, well, at least it's Friday. Happy Friday. I said, yeah, at least it's Friday. I said, the bad thing is, this day will go by slower than this entire weekend will go by. I said, every Friday, it's like that. Every day is like that. It's like every day, it just drags, it drags, it drags. Then the weekend comes and you're like, oh. And you get home and you finish your chores like I just finished and spend a little bit of time with the family. You go to bed, you close your eyes, it's Monday morning. Honest to God, that's how it comes out. Because you try so hard to get as much done as you can on the weekends. You know, maybe you want to get away a weekend. By the time you get off work, get home, everything from work just kind of stuck in your head, running through your head. Pack up, go where you want to go, drive up there, get there. Everything's a hassle or just, you know, add more added stress. You take a vacation, and we've got a vacation coming up. And, you know, all the planning ahead. Yeah, we've got the house reserved. We know where we're going type of thing. We know the area. It's where we always go. But it's like, I got to get farm sitters, which I got a friend of mine and his woman come down and stay and take care of the farm and the animals and everything like that. But then you got to plan everything, got to pack everything, and you got to fight traffic to get there. So it all turns into a huge freaking stress, just a stress monster. Then you finally get there and you get unpacked and you go to the grocery store, you get your groceries, you do this, you do that. Then maybe you get a couple days to sit and relax, go hang out at the beach, go do a little bit of fishing. The next thing you know, you're packing everything up, driving back home, coming right back into the shit storm that you left. And, you know, we live in a world today where I'll not get philosophical with you guys, I promise. We're overstimulated, we're overfed, we're undernourished, we're overworked. Some people are over-medicated and or under-medicated. And we're killing ourselves to try to live a life we're never going to enjoy. And that's what the system is turned into. That's what it's turned into. 40-hour work week. This is your standard typical work week, so don't pop off with 40 hours. I remember my first part-time job. I've heard that shit before, and believe me, I've done my time in the trenches. I don't want to hear it. You just... It's a vicious cycle that is not designed for the working person to retire happy and healthy from. You're killing yourself. You're absolutely killing yourself, be it physically or mentally. And my job is not difficult. I've done my job for almost 13 years now, the one that I'm currently in. It doesn't change a lot. But the problem is we're I don't say we're judged, but we're rated on metrics, okay? So some genius sitting in an office somewhere who doesn't do our job decides that they're going to change our metrics. So these are performance measures we have to meet based on numbers that are most often wrong, verifiably most often wrong. And you can show them that 10 times over and do the simple add and subtract, and they still don't get it. And they'll still maintain that you have to do this, you have to do that type of thing. And it's just bureaucracy. They live by numbers. I know this sounds like a bitch fest, and I apologize, but it's not. It's just that I'm this far from retirement. In my life, I'm this far from retirement, And I swear, without wishing time away, it couldn't come fast enough. And I just hope and pray that we win the lottery. And that doesn't mean we're going to keep it all for ourselves and just disappear. We're going to help some people out, then we're going to disappear. That's what's going to happen. But it just wears you down. You can't get that mental peace. The physical part of it, it doesn't bother me. I've worked physically my entire life. The hard work, I'm not afraid of hard work at all. But it's just the mental part of it now. Like I said, we're overstimulated. We're overstimulated by the constant political battles going on out there. The constant social unrest that's out there. My God, you get on social media and hey, yeah, I read that story. I read that news article. This is kind of how I feel about it. And then next thing you know, you got 50 people calling you one of the multitude of racist, homophobe, misogynist, transphobe, xenophobe, all those nice, little catchwords that they like to throw out there. And they're wishing death on you, and they're doing all kinds of stuff. And I mean, it's pathetic. So I try to distance myself from that kind of stuff. But this world has turned into something that I don't like anymore. I don't like it anymore. I just don't. It's not, what was that saying? I miss the world that I knew before I learned as much about it as I know now. That's the world I miss. And I wish I didn't know near as much about the world as I know now. I wish I didn't know near as much about people and their behaviors as I do now. And I just longing for the day to where I wake up in the morning, I can thank the Lord for another day, and I can live that day for me and my family. Not a paycheck, not some bureaucrat, not somebody who's standing there going, I don't know how to do your job, but my clipboard says you're doing it wrong type of thing. I want that so bad. And I'll tell you what, my wife and I, we had this conversation just, I think it was last weekend. I said, our kids, we are going to teach them about finances. And I wish I'd have known what I know now about finances and investments and saving and saving for retirement. So my kids are soon to be 12 and 8. We have money for them in an account, and we'll add to it as they move forward. But I told my wife, I said, if we can set our kids up to where they invest, save, and do the right thing with their money at 40 or 50 years old, they can retire. They can retire and live off of what they've saved and invested on, rather than working until they're 60, 62, 65, 67, whatever they're going to push retirement age to, and just be completely wore out like we are by that point. If we can do that, I will leave this world a happy man. Because whoever designed or pushed through the type of life that we have to live just to live in this world. We're the only species that pays to live on this planet. Our farm is paid off. We have to pay taxes on it every year. Our house isn't paid off yet, but we continue to pay taxes on it, even though we're paying the mortgage. My car's paid off, but I still have to pay taxes on it every year. The wife's got a lease, still have to pay taxes on it every year. It's included in the lease. We have to pay to live on this planet. We're the only ones that have to do that. And it's just terrible. And I envy these people. I really do, to a degree. These folks who just, if you watch some of these channels on YouTube, these folks who just decide one day, we're done with the corporate rat race, we're done with this, we're done with modern society. Modern society. And they just pack shit up, sell it off, buy a piece of raw land, build a tiny house on it, do whatever, and live off the land. I envy those folks, like I said, to a degree, because Every day they get up, every little bit of sweat that comes off their brow is for them. They're not working for a living. Who was it, Eustace, on the one show, Mountain People or Mountain Men, that was on? He said, I don't work for a living, I live for a living. And that stuck with me. The first time I heard that man ever say that, that stuck with me. Because I said, you know what? He's got it figured out. Because we don't. We definitely don't. So don't think I'm sitting here whining. I'm not. I'm just, today was one of those days that just, I couldn't escape from. I couldn't escape from it whatsoever. I didn't have any bad interactions with anybody. Today was just one of those days where everything was very heavy on me. I'm not medicated. I don't need to be medicated. I don't need therapy. It's too damn expensive. I don't need a diagnosis. So just know that I am running around here undiagnosed. But honest to goodness. And the bad thing is, as I said, I looked at my retirement today and I'm like, man, I could make do on that. I could make do on that right now and just never look back. So I'm going to have to tough it out for the next 6 years and some odd days. And I just look forward to the day where I open up my eyes and know I don't have to answer to anyone. No, I don't have to go through the motions of the typical work day for somebody else. It's all for me and my family. And I'm sure there's some of you out there that know exactly what I'm saying. You feel me 100%. There's other people out there probably going, oh, listen to this guy whine, listen to him complain. Okay, whatever you think, partner. Anyways, it's just how I feel about things. You turn on the news, it's horrible. You listen to this group, it's horrible. You listen to this group, you're horrible. You're wrong. Science this, science that. Racist this, transphobe that, homophobe that. Just because we don't share the same opinion on things doesn't mean I'm a hateful, bad person. And that will right there is enough to just make me just step out of it and say, y'all do your thing. Because I am looking absolutely 100% forward to the day where I'm just going to do my thing. Get and stay prepared and stay free. God bless y'all.